Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, good. All right, everyone, we're here with Razorback softball head coach Courtney Deifel. Paul, if you want to go ahead and get us started.
Hi, Coach. I guess I was trying to get sorry. Can you just start with just kind of tell us what this season's meant to you?
Well, this season has been a really incredible journey. It was a really special group. It was really tough circumstances that they handled beautifully, that they made the most of, that toughened them up, that brought them closer together. It's a group that will, for a very long time, just have not only left their mark on our program, but just made us better people. And it's a group that we just didn't want it to end. We want to be playing today. We felt like they were the group that we wanted that for them, because of how special that they are. And it's hands down one of our favorite groups we've ever coached. And so you just never want those years to end. But I'm just really, really proud of what they put together this year. It was an incredibly special year. And I'm really proud of the people that they are, and just made our jobs really fun every day. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think when you started, you told me for sure more than one time that you felt like this.
Oh, there she is. Courtney.
I had this that this group had the potential to be special, even like before the season started, and to see that come to fruition. How special was that?
Yeah, it was really neat. I just think that, as you go through the fall and you go through a ton of challenges, and you see them rally and unite and come together, and we knew we had the talent, but you just never know how that camaraderie and connection is going to go. And when we got back in January, we just really felt it come together. We knew that we ended in a really good spot at the end of fall. We felt it come together. We knew that they were committed to what was out ahead of us. And then they just stayed the course. For them to do what they did that consistently throughout the whole season is just really special. And when you think about what this program's done in the last 6 years, they've pushed us forward again, and they just found ways to continue to move this thing into in a new area. They put us on the map. I think a lot of people are excited about Arkansas softball, and they did that. So it's really, really cool for as coaches to see the talent, see the character of a team, see the commitment of a team, and then see them show up day in and day out of a really, really long season. And just know that their heart's in the right place, and they're playing for the right reasons, and all of those things that just make you so proud as a coach. So it's just really fun to get to watch that, kind of play out.
You said you knew you had the talent. How much bigger was with all those intangibles in a year like this year?
Oh, it was huge. I think that's where we had great leadership. We had the talent, but in a year like this year, the talent's not going to do it for you. That's not going to be enough. It's never enough, but especially in a year like this year, it's not even going to scratch the surface of what you need to have. And we had great leadership. We had just tough-minded, team-minded, resilient athletes, and they truly were just as excited about their teammates' success as them. They were excited about Arkansas' success, and they didn't do anything with themselves in mind. Obviously, they wanted to better their game, but everything they did was for the people around them. And I think when you do that and you take the focus off yourself, special things really happen. And that's how you make it through a year when, you have COVID and you have injuries and you have all these things where that take out some of your best players. That's how you get through those times, is because they just were so ready to step up for each other and fight for each other. And so it's just really special.
I'll let someone else go. I'll come back if you have time at the end.
If anybody has a question for Coach Deifel, please raise your hand. Porter.
Coach, 5-10 years down the road, when somebody asks you about this team, what's the first thing that's going to come to your mind?
Oh gosh, good question. The first thing that comes to my mind with this group is just how much fun they were. They're just, obviously we're going to look and see that we won an SEC championship. You look at the accolades, you look at, we won an SEC championship that year. We had 3 All-Americans. Prior to this year, we had 2 in program history. We had 3 that year. I'm a firm believer that you don't have individual success if you don't have team success. So I think that those 3 All-American awards are shared with the other 22 on the roster that pushed them every day and competed for them. But you know that when you're in sports for a long time, and you look back at teams, you don't necessarily remember the success on the field. You remember who they were as people. You remember who they were as a team. We talk about that with our athletes, is like, your teammates are going to remember the type of person you were and the teammate that you were. They're not going to remember your stat line, although they're going to remember that Braxton Burnside hit 25 bombs. They're going to remember, they're going to remember those things. But when I think about this team, and in 10 years, when I think back, I'm going to say, wow, we won an SEC championship together when nobody thought we could. And I truly, truly enjoyed every day with them. And that has not always been the case. So this was a special group.
And one last thing, you're speaking on your SEC championship. What do you think that's going to mean to the players that come back, and you looking out on that field, and every time you look out on that outfield wall, you're going to see that 2021 underneath that SEC championship?
Well, I think it's a reminder to them of why they work hard every day. I think that it's a reminder that they did that. I think that they came here and to put those words on the wall. And for them to accomplish that and see it through, I think it just, I think it tells them that their sacrifice and their commitment's worth it, and that it can be done. And I think it just is going to make them hungry for more. It's going to continue to push them to want to be better, and put some more up on the wall, some more banners.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Russell.
Courtney's kind of along the same lines. How do you take that next step? How do you keep building this program?
I think we keep doing what we have been doing. I think, we went through exit meetings yesterday, and you see in their eyes that they're pissed they're not playing. They're disappointed. They're heartbroken. It's tough this year. We fully expected to be at the series, and we know that's the next step for us, and we feel like we're on the brink of that. It's tough when you know that those games are starting today and we're not there, and it's just like, man, I don't even know if I have it in me to watch yet. I don't know if I'm ready. And we felt that from the team. More importantly, it's one thing if we're feeling it. It's another thing if you're sitting and talking to these athletes coming back saying, I'm not ready to be over it. I'm not ready to be over it. I'm pissed that we're not playing. And this time next year, we're going to be playing. Because really what it comes down to is whether they're committed to being there or not. But I can tell you we're all not ready to be over it. And we all want to still be playing. And that's going to be the driving force of how we continue to move this program forward. That's been our driving force since year one. I still remember the circle of our last game at Florida in year one, and them, that circle, our athletes looking at us and saying, we aren't going to end this way again. We want more. We're going to do that. We're going to get there. And then they did it. and it has to come from them. And I saw that same look in the eyes of our players yesterday that were sitting on my couch telling me we're going to be playing next year at this time.
Any more questions for Coach Deifel?
Hey,
Paul?
Coach, yeah, go ahead. Can you talk about the returning group and where you go as far as the talent returning and the talent coming in? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're really excited about who we have coming back. We're really thrilled about who we have coming in. We have some young ones that we feel like are going to make a big splash right away. They have the talent, they have the mindset, they have all those things that you want as a coach. We have the talent coming back, we have the leadership coming back, more importantly. And so it's just, talking to them like, hey, we got to get them going right away. We got to get them up to speed right away. And then also just kind of figuring out the summer is going to be big for potential transfers and just different things of what we feel like we need to supplement what we already have. But I'm really excited. Obviously, the redshirt juniors that chose to come back, I'm ecstatic about it. You look and you have Danielle Gibson and Mary Half, and quite honestly, I think Hannah McEwen's still one of our best hitters, and she hasn't got that accolade. We covet that for her. And so you have those tone setters coming back, and we have, young talent we're pretty pumped about, and we think we're in a really good spot. And then you just, pair that with the look they gave us yesterday in our meetings, and we're going to be ready to pick up where we left off when we get going again in September.
Is there one kid that you would talk about today that you say, hey, this time next year, you're going to really be, or, at the beginning of next year, we're going to really be looking and talking about this player making that jump that, some of that you're talking about?
You mean from returners or our freshmen coming in?
Either one.
Shoot, you know what? I'm really excited about everybody that we have coming back. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity out there for them to grab it. And so I'm not going to say that there isn't anybody I'm excited about. I think they're ready. I think they see some opportunity there. I think that they're going to work their tails off all summer. And I think that they know that we have a huge belief in everybody that's coming back. And we feel really good about our class coming in. And so I don't know that I would point out one person. I'm just really excited about where we're at as a whole.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jason?
Hey, Coach, a lot of it you guys are taking care of on the field. What's it like to see the growth of the fan base that you guys are kind of getting going? And then how that kind of maybe trickles down to the high school programs getting better in the state, which will then in turn get better recruits coming to the state of Arkansas or to the University of Arkansas.
Well, our fan base is incredible. I think that they showed up for us big time in our last couple series and our postseason. I want to ask them to get out there a little earlier. I know that we have some cold weather, we have some things, but we have a really loyal fan base that I think that this team caught their attention. This team, in my opinion, this team deserves to have a full Bogle every time we play at home. They're really exciting. They're exciting to watch. They represent our school and our state incredibly as athletes, as women. And so, I thought our environment in our regional and our super regional was absolutely electric. And I honestly believe we have the best fans in the country. They're incredibly loyal. It's so funny when you hear other people's perspective of calling the Hogs, and they think it's like so weird until you're in it. And I don't know that there's anything more special in college athletics than calling the Hogs and just having that feel that it gives you and that pride. And I would say to the second part of your question with, high school softball in the state of Arkansas, I just think that it continues to grow, and it's a really exciting time for our sport and our country. It just continues to spread out the popularity of the sport, the strength of the sport, and we're seeing that happen in our state. And there's two things that have been incredibly cool with just the following of this team and this team grabbing everyone's attention. One, our alumni base is just really, really proud. And we talk about that with our team a ton, is that's where you want to be in 10 years. And that's their role and how they play now, how they help in our recruiting. And this alumni base is feeling this team's success as their own, and they should. They built this. Each year that they had has led to the year that we've had. And for them to text me and email and just say how proud they are that they played for Arkansas, and that when they tell people that they played for Arkansas, that their faces light up. That's what it's all about. That's what this team is giving this alumni base. And then I'm getting texts and emails from high school coaches saying how excited their players are for Arkansas softball, that they're having watch parties, that they're watching our level of play, and that they're just proud that we're putting Arkansas softball out there and making it a brand that's grabbing attention across the country. And so, you know, that's when I really feel the growth in this state is they see that it can be done here, and they can see what they're striving for. And then obviously just making the alums proud, because in 5 years, when Braxton Burnside tells someone she played for Arkansas, I want that same look. I want that person she's telling to give her that same look of, wow, that is so cool that you played for the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's what it's all about.
Porter and I were talking about this yesterday, the national brand. How big is it to make Arkansas softball a national brand for recruiting and just everything you're trying to do with this program?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, recruiting is our lifeline to continue to keep this thing going. And, you know, we felt like we were in a really good spot recruiting before. You know, we're in the SEC, we're Arkansas. If we can get them here to see this place, they're big-eyed and just wowed by it, as we all were when we went through the process of choosing to come here. Now I think that we've grabbed their attention with how fast we have progressed. We've grabbed their attention with winning an SEC championship that no one had done in 12 years other than Alabama and Florida. And so we have attention from that top tier athlete that wants to come play on a big stage. They're seeing 3,000 fans in Bogle, saying, who wouldn't want to play in front of thousands of fans every day in one of the most beautiful facilities in the country? They're seeing the support. They're seeing the success across all the teams on campus, and knowing that the support and the resources are there from our administration across the board. And I just think everything's in place. And I think that was made very, very visible through this postseason of, you know, just seeing that and saying, wow, that's really special. I think they felt our team. I think they not only felt and saw how they played, they felt who they were, that they play with passion, that they play with a lot of pride, that they play with a lot of unity and connection, and that they are very talented softball players, you know, on top of that. So I just think that through the course of the season, the exposure that we've gotten, the level we played at, the things that we accomplished, it's opened a lot of eyes across the country. And I think that we're in as good a spot as we've ever been.
Any more questions for Coach Deifel?
I was going to ask one other thing, a follow up with regard to Braxton and Hannah Gamble, two in-state kids. How big is that for the level of softball in this state to see two kids that are from Arkansas to say, hey, we can be that? How big is that?
Well, I think it's huge. Shoot, Braxton's a superstar in Paragold, you know, and that's how it should be. You know, I just think, like, we have, you know, Keely Huffine, we have Lauren Graves, we have Callie Kildow, we have Caitlin Howard, we have a good amount of Arkansas kids and you want to keep them home. And so I think that even more so, I think that, you know, it shows these Arkansas kids. I think they follow them more because they're from here, and they just attach to this brand, and then they see they can do it. You know, I think they see that, you know, oh, you know, someone from Paragould, Arkansas can come and lead the country and home run, be second in the country in home runs, and be a first team All-American and play for Arkansas. I think that that's incredibly special, and it's only going to continue to grow.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Coach Deifel? All right, that will wrap us up. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for
Appreciate it.
following us all year and supporting us.
Thanks, Coach.
You guys are awesome.